The 70s floated on satin harmonies, wood grain stereos, and the late-night glow of FM. Some of the gentlest anthems live loudest in the memories of those who grew up with them. Here are 10 soft rock favorites only 70s kids remember. Number 10, How Much I Feel by Ambrosia.
I don't know how this whole business started.
Late nights in 1978 had a certain glow. Dedication lines lit up on FM call-in shows, and slow dances stretched a little longer under gymnasium lights.
Gonna hurt me, but I break away from you.
For a lot of 70s kids, this was the soundtrack to passing notes in homeroom and choosing the last song before the lights came on.
Just give me the sign, and I will be gone.
Behind the scenes, the group was pivoting from their art rock roots to something more intimate. Lead writer and vocalist David Pack shaped a confessional story that felt personal enough for mixtapes and radio dedicated to L.A. The band leaned into West Coast Polish and let the sentiment carry the performance, turning a private moment into something that felt communal. It paid off in a big way. The single climbed to number 3 on the Hot 100 and settled into adult contemporary rotations that seemed to follow listeners everywhere. Spin it today and the locker room smell, the cafeteria buzz, the soft hum of a wood-paneled stereo come rushing back. Colored lights, the squeak of rentals, and a slow orbit around center ice. A soft focus Crush soundtrack trailed skaters to the snack bar and out to the parking lot. Radio made it feel like a secret passed note to note, a chorus you could hum without ever. Number 8, You Are the Woman by Firefall.
You are the woman that I've always dreamed of. I knew it from the
A slip of paper in a pocket, a name circled twice, and a homecoming date underlined. Dedication lines on late-night FM kept spinning promises, and this one became the soundtrack to backseat confessions and kitchen table phone calls that stretched past curfew.
It's not so much the things you said to me. It's not the things you...
Rick Roberts arrived with a straightforward love note and a feel that producer Jim Mason knew radio would carry. Sessions in Miami tightened the arrangement, while David Muse added those graceful flourishes on keys and flute that gave the band its calling card.
I knew it from the start. I saw your face and
Former Burrito Brothers pedigree mixed with Rocky Mountain polish, and the single took shape as something effortless to request and impossible to forget. By autumn, it had settled into every format that 70s kids lived with. The record reached number 9 on the Hot 100 and climbed the adult contemporary chart, where it seemed to play in supermarkets, car washes, and dentist offices alike. One spin and you can see the bleachers, the corsage box, and the slow walk to the door again.
it's hard to tell you all the love I'm feeling. That's just not my style.
Number 7, Lotta Love by Nicolette Larson.
Gonna take a lot of love to change the way.
A hand-labeled cassette drifted through the Laurel Canyon Circle, a Neil Young tune looking for the right voice.
So if you look in my direction, and we don't
Word of mouth did the rest, and soon the melody that had floated between friends became the quiet favorite at house parties where the night ended with someone turning down the lights and letting the stereo glow.
my heart needs protection, and so do I.
In Los Angeles, producer hands shaped the arrangement with radio in mind. Easy glide on the rhythm, warm keys, harmonies stacked like sunlight on a kitchen wall. Larson stepped up to the mic and poured warmth into every line, the kind of take that made label folks nod before the song even reached the chorus.
No, I need relating, not solitude.
What began as a songwriter's gift turned into something intimate enough for late-night dedications and weekend drives. Listeners carried it everywhere.
It's gonna take a lot of love. Change the way.
The single climbed into the national top 10 and took a turn at number 1 on Adult Contemporary, settling into supermarkets, roller rinks, and bedroom radios. One spin and the year returns. Jacket on the bedpost, phone cord wrapped around a finger, and the soft click of the cassette deck. Number 6, I Go Crazy by Paul Davis.
Girl, it's been a while. Guess you'll be glad.
40 weeks on the Hot 100 turned it into a constant companion for 70s kids. It lingered through fall homework, winter dances, and spring drives, a steady presence that turned hallway crushes into diary entries and late-night calls into quiet rituals.
Getting over you was slow.
A patient writer with a soft touch shaped it in understatement. Plain-spoken verses, a hush of keys, a vocal close to the mic.
They say all lovers can be good friends.
The performance feels like a note folded twice and slipped across a desk. Radio programmers heard the staying power and kept it spinning through midday sets and midnight dedications. As it climbed, it found a home in request lines, prom playlists, and adult contemporary blocks that framed everyday life. One play and you're back at the payphone, counting coins and rehearsing what to say. Let's take a quick pause before we hit the final 5. Which of these songs brought back the clearest memory for you? Was there a track you didn't expect, or one you've kept in your personal playlist for years? And which soft rock favorite from the 70s do you think deserves even more love? Let us know in the comments. We read everyone. Number 5, So Into You by Atlanta Rhythm Section. Down in Doraville, the lights at Studio One stayed warm after midnight as producer Buddy Bye and engineer Rodney Mills shaped takes with the band. Charts on music stands, coffee cooling on the console, a Georgia outfit honing something sleek enough for radio, but relaxed enough to feel like a late drive on an empty highway. Their songwriter camp knew how to leave space. Guitar lines glide without crowding the room, electric piano sets the mood, and the rhythm section moves with an easy confidence that fits the song's slow bloom story.
I was captured by your style.
It's the kind of restraint that 70s kids remember from bedroom radios turned just low enough not to wake anyone down the hall. The payoff was quiet ubiquity. The single rose to number 7 on the Hot 100 and settled into adult contemporary and FM rotations that felt stitched to weeknights and weekend errands. One spin, and you're back under streetlights, windows cracked, the interstate humming just beyond the windshield. Number 4, Bluer Than Blue by Michael Johnson. Graduation parties faded into quiet drives home, and bedroom radios stayed on just long enough to catch one more late-night confession. For a lot of 70s kids, this became the soundtrack to lights off thinking. The moment you realize the room feels different when someone isn't coming back. A Nashville pen put the story on paper with simple, unadorned lines, and the singer carried it with a gentle touch that felt closer than a phone call. The session kept everything restrained. Tasteful keys, light acoustic figure, and a voice that never reached for drama. It felt like hearing a friend say the hard part out loud and then sit with it a while. Listeners found it immediately. The single topped adult contemporary and rose into the Hot 100's teens, turning up in diners, supermarkets, and those quiet minutes before curfew. One spin and you're back at the window, counting cars and letting the dial glow in the dark. Number 3, We May Never Pass This Way Again, by Seals and Crofts.
So they say it's but a game.
Yearbooks filled with looping signatures and auditorium lights dimmed for slide projectors that clicked through the past 9 months. Guidance counselors offered final reminders, and friends promised to stay in touch.
They don't see just where we're going. Oh,
This became the soundtrack to last homeroom bell goodbyes and the slow walk from the gym to the parking lot.
for the fools and they let them drift away.
In the studio, producer and guitarist Louis Shelton kept the frame open and unhurried, letting 2 familiar voices carry the message. The lyric turns toward parting and perspective, the kind of wisdom that feels borrowed from an older sibling. It lands gently, like a note passed in class that says exactly what everyone is thinking. Radio embraced it for the season. The single reached the Pop Top 40 and rose to number 2 on Adult Contemporary, spinning through assemblies, senior banquets, and late spring drives. One play and the folding chairs, paper programs, and afterglow of a school year return. Number 2, Sentimental Lady by Bob Welch.
You are here and warm, but I could look away.
A melody first tucked into a 1972 album found a second life when its writer stepped out on his own. The song had lived quietly among deep cuts, the kind you discover on a friend's older sibling's turntable.
We live in a time when meaning falls in space.
When the chance came to revisit it, the decision felt like opening a time capsule and polishing what was inside. Sessions brought familiar faces back into the room.
That's why I've traveled far, 'cause I come so together.
Former bandmates lent harmonies and guitar shimmer, and Los Angeles Polish turned a personal memory into a radio companion. The take leaned on warmth and easy movement, the kind of performance that made late-night stations nod and slot it between weather reports and dedication lines.
All of the things that I said that I wanted come rushing by in my head.
It became the centerpiece of a breakout solo record and a calling card for a new chapter. Listeners recognized it immediately. The single rose into the national top 10 and settled into adult contemporary blocks that felt stitched to car rides, grocery runs, and Sunday afternoons.
Very sentimental, gentle wind blowing through.
One spin and the family room returns. Wood cabinet speakers glowing and a stack of LP sleeves on the carpet.
Sentimental, gentle one.
Number 1, Just When I Needed You Most by Randy VanWarmer.
Locked in the morning, I stared out the window and I
School mornings carried their own hush. Kitchen lights humming, toast cooling on a plate, the radio low enough not to wake anyone else.
Left in the rain without closing the door.
Somewhere between bus stops and first period, a gentle chorus became a quiet companion for kids learning how absence feels. The day moved forward, and the feeling stayed close.
I miss you more than I missed you before and now.
The lyric grew from a young writer's goodbye, shaped into a plain-spoken confession that sat comfortably beside weather updates and traffic reports.
You left me just when I
In the studio, the arrangement stayed close to the microphone, letting soft keys and a measured vocal do the lifting. Every choice tilted toward intimacy, the kind that lives on bedside radios and cassette mixes passed between friends.
I need you more than I needed before and now.
Listeners recognized the feeling on Contact. The single reached the national top 5 and settled into adult contemporary playlists that seemed to frame errands, car rides, and Sunday afternoons.
left me just when I needed you most.
One play and the kitchen clock, the fogged window, and the long walk to the bus return.